Welcome to Adverbs Lesson 1. So what are adverbs? Adverbs are one of the many parts of speech in the English language. They add detail to a verb. These words are sort of similar to adjectives that describe a noun, but adverbs describe a verb, hence the name adverb. And just as a reminder, a verb is an action word, the action that the noun, the person, place, or thing, is doing. Adverbs describe verbs in a few special ways. They can answer the question, how, in what manner is something done, using words such as gently, quickly, clumsily, or truthfully, just to name a few. They can also answer the question, where. Where is that action occurring? With words like somewhere, downstairs, here, outside, and many more. Another question that can be answered with an adverb is when. When is that action occurring? Using words such as early, first, yesterday, or regularly. There are many, many more. Adverbs can also answer the question, how much? As in, how much of an action is being done? Using words like almost, very, enough, or only. And those are just to name a few. Finally, adverbs can answer the question, how often? As in, how often is an action occurring? Using words like every day, weekly, always, or rarely, plus many more. How do we identify adverbs within a sentence? Well, the number one key to look for is words that end in ly, like quickly, softly, patiently. That is a big red flag that is an adverb. Another way is to look for words that explain how, when, where, how much, or how often an action is done. The action would be your verb. So the word describing the verb would be your adverb. Now let's practice identifying some adverbs within sentences. Take a look at this sentence. I thought the movie ended abruptly. Let's first find the verb in this sentence. Ended is our verb. So, are there any words describing how, when, where, how much, or how often the movie ended? We have the word abruptly. It has our first red flag, which is the ly ending. And it also tells us how the movie ended. Abruptly or quickly. Now I want you to identify the adverb in this sentence. We finally got our grades from the test. Can you first spot the verb? Got. And can you find the adverb? Finally. Your red flag should be that it ends in an ly. And it describes when you got the grades. Okay, here's the next sentence. Jack walked his dog to the park quickly. I want you to first identify the verb. Did you say walked? Because that's right. And now, is there an adverb describing the word walked? You should see another red flag. Quickly ends in an ly. And it explains how Jack walked. The next sentence says, Tom plays football outside. So what is the verb? Plays. Very good. And do we see an adverb in this sentence? Do we have the ly red flag? No, we don't. So we're going to have to ask ourselves if we see a word that describes when, where, how much, or how often. We have the word outside that tells us where Tom plays. Here's your next sentence. My mom cares deeply about me. The first thing we need to do is to find the verb. If you said cares, you are correct. Now we need to see if there is an adverb describing cares. Step 1 is to look for the red flag, ly. And immediately we find the word deeply. This tells us how much Mom cares. Are you finding the right words before I say them? Good. Now let's try some more. I already finished my homework. What's the verb? Finished. Okay, now what is the adverb? Do we have the red flag ly? No, we don't. So, the words we need to think about: when, where, how much, or how often. The adverb is already because it tells us when. The homework was already finished. It's done. Uncle Randy loudly ate his corn on the cob. What is the verb? I hope you found ate. Now, what is the adverb? Do we have a red flag ly? Yes, on the word loudly, which describes how Uncle Randy ate. Here's the next one. Bobby went swimming yesterday at his friend's house. What is the verb? If you said swimming, you're right. And do we have an adverb? Yes, but it does not have the red flag ly. So let's ask ourselves those questions. How, when, where, how much, or how often? The word yesterday tells us when. Let's keep going. Sarah and John played chess here. The verb is played. And what is the adverb? We don't have the ly ending, so ask yourselves those questions. Here tells you where Sarah and John played chess. A few more. Julie jogged outside before school. Let's take a look at the verb. Jogged. And do we have an ly adverb? No. So let's ask yourselves the questions. How, when, where, how much, or how often? We know from this sentence that Julie jogged outside. Outside tells us where she was. Last one. Aunt Tammy and Uncle Ted left the party early. What is the verb in this sentence? If you said left, you are correct. And is there an adverb describing left? Yes, there is a red flag ly ending on the word early. Early tells us when the aunt and uncle left the party. Great job! Next time, we'll talk about using adverbs in sentences.